Good day, ladies and gentlemen, to the mining news on Commodity TV. With the big boom in renewable energies underway, China is playing it safe to ensure that energy reaches households and industry. Spending on power transmission rose to around 529 billion yuan, or $72 billion in the first 11 months of last year, according to the National Energy Administration. Investment in new power generation was around 866 billion yuan. Infrastructure investment will continue to rise this year. State Grid Corp of China, China's largest power generation operator, plans to spend over 650 billion yuan in 2025 after 600 billion last year. China's Southern Power Grid is the second major operator and plans to increase its investment plans by more than half by 2027. This looks good for copper, uranium and other energy commodities. Arizona Sonoran Copper is a top copper developer in the USA. RG Royalties LLC, a subsidiary of Royal Gold, has acquired an existing 2.5% net smelter royalty on a portion of the Cactus project for a cash consideration of $55 million from Tembo Capital. ASCU has the right to repurchase 0.5% of the entire 2.5% NSR from Royal Gold for $7 million until 10th July this year. George Ogilvy, president and CEO, commented, "We are pleased that the royalties are going to a top-tier royalty and streaming company that has participated in project financing packages in the past and has good experience with our management team. We believe Royal Gold as an acquirer is another strong endorsement and recognition of the Cactus project and its future plan by an experienced mining financier. Our team has been dedicated to growing the project to a significant size, securing water permitting and community support, and, as reflected in our 2024 PEA, demonstrating a capital-efficient project with robust economic forecast. We will continue to de-risk and advance Cactus by conducting various technical studies from pre-feasibility study through to final feasibility study and ultimately to a final investment decision." That's what George said. In 2020, a Tembo Capital Fund initially acquired the 2.5% NSR as part of an overall 3.18% NSR financing with resource capital funds, whose interest is now owned by Elemental Altus Royalties. In addition to the 0.5% NSR repurchase option from Royal Gold, ASCU also has the option to repurchase 0.14% of the total 0.68% NSR from Elemental Altus for $1.9 million by 10th July 2025, which would reduce the total combined NSR to 2.54%. The company is well funded and is currently reviewing its options in relation to the two NSR buyback options. The chart has generated a buy signal, and we see an initial price target of 2.80 Canadian dollars for the stock. Copper explorer Hannan Metals received approval for exploration activities from the Ministry of Mines for an initial drill program at its 100% owned Valiente copper-gold project in Peru. The permit allows Hannan to begin drilling 40 permitted platforms in the 702-hectare Belen area and already has 3 highly prospective targets ready for drill testing. These are the Ricardo Herrera copper-gold porphyry with a 1 km by 0.25 kilometers chargeability anomaly, 15 platforms permitted. Then the Vista Alegre epithermal gold deposit with a 2.4 km long geophysical anomaly with 12 approved platforms, and the Sortilegio copper gold porphyry with a 1.2 km long chargeability anomaly with 13 platforms. Hannan is still promising as the chart is back in an uptrend and has generated a buy signal. We see an initial price target of 1.75 to 2 Canadian dollars. IsoEnergy announced that due to strong demand, it has entered into an agreement with a syndicate of underwriters led by Stifel Canada to increase the previously announced financing of common shares deemed to be flow-through shares of 4.642 million shares at a price of 375 Canadian dollars per flow-through share for gross proceeds of approximately 17.4 million Canadian dollars. The company has agreed to grant the underwriters an over-allotment option to purchase up to an additional 693,300 shares at the offering price, exercisable in whole or in part at any time and from time to time on or prior to the date that is 30 days after the closing of the offering, to cover over-allotments, if any, and to stabilize the market. If the option is fully exercised, additional gross proceeds of approximately 2.6 million Canadian dollars will be raised under the offering, and the total gross proceeds might be then raised to 20 million Canadian dollars. IsoEnergy should have found a bottom at the current price level, and we see a positive turnaround here soon. The next price targets are 5 to 6 Canadian dollars for the share. You can also find all information on our commodity web in German and English, as well as everything about commodities. Please note the disclaimer. The shares discussed are or will be part of the SRC Mining Special Situation Certificate, and I am or will be a shareholder of the companies. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.